This meeting is
Well, welcome to Innovision FM. We're sort of like in a different, in a box kind of phone computer format tonight. Uh, I had everything set up, but my computer said, enough, you got so many windows open, we're gonna close down on you. So that's what my computer has done for the moment. And yeah, we'll get to the topic because I wanted you guys to hear some of these AI songs that I put together. And who knows if when I upload it, I'll hmm, I'll probably put the songs like just insert it in there
Right,
because I could do that.
right.
Yeah.
That's the advantage of pre-recording the shows as opposed to going live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a Tuesday edition of the Intervision FM Universe. I'm Alan C. and got Johnny J, President and Station Manager of Intervision FM in the house. We're going to talk a little bit about love. We got about 2 weeks until Valentine's Day. And if all goes well, the benevolent overlords and the great gods of YouTube will smile down upon us, and we'll have a very special, hopefully February 14th show, 13th show, something just in time for Valentine's Day. But lots to talk about in the news today. Got Mike Johnson holding the line as Speaker of the House. Looks like he is definitely looking at making sure that 0 people come through the border, whereas the Biden administration do want a little bit of leeway. I think they want like 5,000 or so a day to
Two
come in,
thousand some odd dollars.
or
2,000
2,000 a day.
yeah.
Yeah, I look at it this way, Johnny. It's like this: I'm a criminal, and I go into an establishment to practice my arts, and me and about 4,999 of my friends, we go in there and we decide we're going to go ahead and, shake down a department store, something like this. Just kidding. Not really doing that. But of course, we go and we do this. Um,
Yeah.
if one more of my friends shows up and we got 5,000 friends, well, one of us is going to go home wearing golden bracelets with chains separating them. So, man,
Yeah.
you can't do this. This is unsustainable. We have to stem the flow of illegal migration or illegal immigration, as it were. And we need to get back to being a nation of laws. That's just really all there is.
Yep.
Um,
This is true. And I heard this commentary that someone was interviewing uh Lake. What was that? The lady, is it Lori Lake or is it
is it Carrie
Carrie
Lake?
Lake? Carrie Lake, yes. They were
The
interviewing Carrie, yeah, in
okay.
Phoenix. And the guy was saying, hey, what Trump's supposed to be this guy of the deal, and this guy has nothing. He's a lightweight, as President Trump would call him, talking about like trying to convince Kerry that this is a good deal. And Trump has talked to Kerry, has talked to Johnson, and has not talked to this guy because he says, "Well, we wanted to talk to Trump." He says, "No, you talk to Kerry Lake."
Right.
So I don't have time to talk to you because he probably realized he's a lightweight, and so he didn't want to have anything to do with him anyway. So he says, "No, we're not gonna talk to you."
Well, I think Trump is looking at doing things a little bit different this time than what he did last time. He understands the depth and the breadth of the swamp now, whereas before he probably figured, I can't, say for sure because I don't want to get in Trump's mind, but our president, our president 45, soon to be president 47, probably figured at the time, hey, if I work with these people, they'll work with me and we'll find common ground. Um, and that might have worked back in the day when there was what's termed as classical liberalism. I don't agree with your policies, but I respect your the office of the Commander in Chief of the United States. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to work together. Well, all that is just going out the window these days. So what do we do from here? Well,
Yeah,
there is a
I
lot
have
of prayer. We can pray, and there is the army of God, and the army of God being that convoy that has started to arrive in Texas, Arizona, and a couple of other ports of entry. One in California, and gosh, the other one slips my mind. But by the 4th of February, they do plan to have, their message heard, and if we can get the elites, the powers that be, to just realize, hey, look, we are the governed, you are the governing body, but we have to give you the consent to govern us. And we like our country the way it is. We don't want it to be overrun with folks that we're not sure about. Uh, Even though we built this country on immigration, it's a situation where we've got to make sure that those that come in here are have the best interest of the American people.
Johnny Johnson has joined the meeting.
So I think that's the main thing, is just to make sure to get the American people to really recognize that we do have commonality still. Republican, Democrat, left, right, all this stuff is just made up gobbledygook to keep us divided.
Yep, this is true. Well, oh man, am I echoing?
You are echoing slightly, but you're not very bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
Ah, okay. Well, uh, I brought the other. One minute. Share my side says. Oh well, I'm going to share the entire screen.
Johnny Johnson has started screen share.
Hey, there you go. I can see your
You're
screen
viewing
now.
Zoom meeting.
All right.
Yeah, now I'm gonna. Well, I know we're already recording part of this. Ah. Oh, by the way, go ahead and tell us about our last year's sponsors, which we only have one sponsor this year, but we could probably talk about the last year's sponsor why I go live.
Well, we were sponsored last year by the likes of Richard Damiano of the Littleton Eye Clinic, a good friend of Intervision FM. And uh, Littleton Eye Clinic has helped out many of my visually impaired and blind compatriots to get their sight back, or at least get some relief going on, to where maybe, they're not in pain, this type of thing. Richard Damiano is a really good friend, as I say, of Intervision FM. Also, we had the Denver Arts Foundation, Colorado Art Relief Fund. Looks like we had Eeny Meeny Grants, and another good friend of ours, based in the great state of Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, and Englewood, Colorado, Christian Brothers Moving Company. And this year we just brought on a sponsor by the name of Terra Clean. This is a biologically friendly cleaning agent. All of the ingredients in that are natural. So if you're looking for a product that is easy on the environment, and this is something that would help out a good cause, that is to say physically disabled or financially challenged, or both, these folks, the musicians and or recording artists, YouTube podcasters, broadcasters, this type of thing. It's our mission at Intervision FM to try and get some, what do you call those, additional income streams. Social Security Administration is about ready to probably go broke by 2030. And so, since there is a 70 to 90% unemployment rate within the blind community, why not? You know? So that's what we got going there, folks. We're going to talk a little bit about we're going to talk a little bit about AI. We're going to talk a little bit about Snoop Dogg, and we're going to talk a little bit about President Trump.
Oh, yes, we are going to talk a little bit about. I see why I can't do nothing. Oh, I got to accept something.
Oh, okay. So first off, Snoop Dogg, he has always been an advocate against our former President Trump. He definitely was not really a big fan of Trump. And over the last couple of days, he and a number of other rappers, even in the last couple of weeks, have been throwing in their support and, for lack of better terminology, endorsing President Donald John Trump as our next president to be elected in 2024. Snoop Dogg he's really well known for his rap music. Obviously, he's really well known for his marijuana use, and he's really well known for telling the youth of America that school doesn't matter, to just go ahead and blow off school and things like this. Seems like as he's getting older, he's starting to really turn himself into a Republican. And as he comes out in support for President Trump and saying he was with him all along, well, we'll just have to see how this snake shakes out.
Okay, now I got the song.
All
I
right.
got the song.
So it looks like
I was playing.
a song.
I was playing around with AI,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I called the song. Let's see, Snoop Love for Trump. That's what I called it.
Up for Trump.
Yeah. So
this is an AI rendering of something that you and your computer kind of came up with.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. But in this one. I'm gonna leave this meeting. Okay. So I don't know why I'm still. Okay.
Johnny Johnson is the host now. Johnny Johnson has left the meeting.
Oh no.
Would you leave on your computer and not your phone?
Yeah, I okay. You can hear me now, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I just left my phone.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play the song now. Now we don't have all the stuff going on.
All right.
Okay, here we go. This is the rap version. Hopefully I got the right one. Okay.
Yo, let's talk about Snoop and Trump. What's the deal? In 2016, Snoop wasn't keeping it real. He was dissing Trump, throwing shades with zeal. But hold up, rewind, let's unveil the real deal. 3 strikes in 94, Clinton smooth, no joke. Biden was down, sponsoring, playing token dagger, no hope. Obama joke in the White House, 2 terms with no apologies for all the brothers locked up. But like pardon weed policies, no pardon for Michael Harris, death row co-founder. Snoop made videos, clown suits, and toy guns a rebounder. But in 2021, Trump stepped up, had mercy on the man, pardon for Harris. 30 years in the can. Funny how politics play, twist and turn Irons in the game, dims the KKK roots, causing Snoop to flame. But Trump in the mix, just trying to fix the plan. 2024, I'm voting Trump, loud and proclaim. Democrats started KKK, Jim Crow laws in the South. But Snoop went against Trump, had his mouth running like a spout. Best president ever make America great again.
Okay.
Wow. That's actually pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I know I sent you part of the words, but would it be easier for me to read the words? Because some people, and I know unless you listen to that like over and over again, you probably couldn't get like a lot of those words. But okay, but I wrote the outline, and I wanted to touch on several main things.
Okay.
Like, okay, so Snoop decided he's going to change over to liking Trump when he liked him before he became president, and they even put him in the rap songs and all that kind of stuff. But
Right.
I have a feeling that there's a machine that's going on in Hollywood, and like when you get to these certain levels, they threaten you to go along, to get along, or lose your finances. And we may do a show on this. A lot of women that are in the business, sometimes these powerful men take advantage of them, and then the women have to decide, do I rat this guy out, get blackballed because there's so many, this is like a men-driven business.
Yeah.
And then I can't feed my family, I can't support myself because this is what I really love to doing. And sometimes they are sitting beside the perpetrators at these award shows.
Interesting.
Right.
You know, I look at what's going on with Taylor Swift, and I understand that sometime back in, gosh, was it 2000? I want to say it was 2018 that Georgie Porgy, I can't really say his last name too much without it triggering an algorithm, but it rhymes with Poros.
Yeah.
So Georgie Porgy went ahead and bought all of Taylor Swift's catalog, and she wasn't too happy about all that. But by 2020, then she became a flaming liberal, and came out against Trump in the previous election. Trying to get people to go ahead and to vote for Biden. It's interesting because I also saw an article that pointed to a poll that said that 20% of folks would be swayed by somebody like Taylor Swift if she were to go ahead and endorse the next incoming president, whether it be President Biden or whoever they put up there, as long as it isn't Trump.
Right.
So, but
Yeah,
it
I heard
is
about that.
interesting because, man, I will tell you, I mean, the powers that be, they don't play around, man. If they want something to happen, they're going to try to make that happen, and they'll go ahead and they'll buy her music. They'll go ahead and they'll pull
And
the levers
and
necessary.
abuse you at the same time.
Yeah, and abuse you at the same time, and then say it's your fault. Shit.
Yeah. So I saw how I mean, the clown outfit, and he had the water gun or whatever, and it was just like him pretending that he had did something bad to Trump, which
Uh-huh.
I'm using paraphrasing all these words and all this kind of
Right.
stuff. And so I sort of like outlined this song, and then I said 1994, Bill Clinton and Joe Biden put out this bill, three strikes and you're out. It didn't matter what you did. If they caught you 3 times, they could send you away for life. So they sent
Yes.
away like a lot of guys that were just doing marijuana
Yep.
or selling it or whatever.
Yep.
And here we got killers out there doing real crimes,
Yeah.
and they're sending away marijuana users who are only damaging their own brains.
That's right. That's
And
right.
it's like, then I put in there that, okay, Obama got in there and Biden, but they didn't pardon any of those guys.
That's right.
And they were there twice. And then Trump got in there, and I didn't know that. And I know he pardoned a bunch of people. Well, he barred that girl that was in jail for the first time. She was just driving the car for her boyfriend, who was the marijuana seller and whatever. So they brought them both in, right? And and she had been there for, I think, about 10 years.
Like 10 or 15 years or something like
and
that.
that was her first
first
offense.
ever offense. Right.
And she had children, whatever, and stuff like that. And so that law that they put in, 3 strikes and you're out, mostly got poor Black people and others that were around that. But if you're using cocaine and all that other stuff, just a slap in the hand and probation. But if you were using crack or marijuana or this other stuff, 20 years to life.
It's interesting because hundreds and hundreds of thousands of folks of color have been locked up under this 3 strikes you're out rule. And, I find it interesting that our president's son, should I say, our first son, is walking free even still.
Gun charges, leaving cocaine in the White House, all that stuff.
That's absolutely right.
Come on, could you use that stuff at your own house? That's what if I had alcoholic daughter and she wanted to come over here and drink, I was like, hey, not here. Go home.
Right. That's right.
But let's. Oh, and then speaking of sleeping your way to the top, in this next song, I wrote this one about Brown and Harris' little love affair, and I like the way it came out. Now I don't know if this recording came out right, because it was another version that I didn't like, and I'll probably stop it if it goes to that version. But here so let's listen to that song.
In the city by the bay, where dreams take flight, a story unfolds in the soft moonlight. Governor WillieBrown with a heart so bright, met KamalaHarris, a spark of delight. A journey of success from the Golden Gate to the White House doors, destiny's fate. Hand in hand, they face the unknown, till the charm seeds of success zone.
Now there's another verse here coming up. There we go.
It sounds like Green Day on steroids.
Yeah, I really like that one, man. I can what is it? Jump to that one.
I can jam into that one all day long, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, you folks want to hear things like this, man? Hit us up at info@intervisionfm.com. We aim to get grassroots musicians, whether they're physically disabled or financially challenged, a little bit of exposure with this new technology called artificial intelligence technology. We're going to have some fun before the world ends, folks.
Also, if you say like you just want to come up with some hip hop beats,
that's right.
Which I'm going to tell my artist Tony this, because it's like pulling like teeth. I know, and I don't know if it's jealousy or whatever, and they know that this guy has it. And so they say, well, we're just going to drag our feet.
Really?
But this thing, if you don't put any words in it, you could just say hip hop music in this little session and say generate, and it will generate the music beats. And I've been trying to get him to do this for a long. I said, just generate the music beats, and because I need the music beat, and then I need to find out, do they have a copyright over the beat, or how do we, buy them out or whatever, or how does that work? But man, it's like this thing is really a powerful thing.
Well,
So
it is very, 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 very powerful. And I'm really thinking with and this is kind of far out, but I was watching a podcast earlier and I gotta agree. This guy Timcast does something on YouTube, and he has his IRL and this kind of thing. But he was talking about AI, and he was thinking, and I gotta think this too, because Elon Musk is now starting his trials with the Neuralink brain chip. You know,
Hmm.
so if you're paralyzed, the first mode of communication will be telepathy. So basically, um, if you're paralyzed and you can't talk, like you're Stephen Hawking or something like this,
Hmm.
Elon Musk wants to make this uh, brain chip so that you can communicate just with your thoughts. You can communicate to a computer, and
Hmm.
it will pretty much just, whatever you're thinking, it'll go ahead and say. Now, one thing that's interesting is, you know, we think a lot of things all the time.
Hmm.
Uh, this person over here is ugly, or gosh, this person over here is pretty, or oh my gosh, this person smells bad, or so
Did you ever see that Gilligan Island where they had these sunflower seeds and they could read each other's mind?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look that up, you can find it on YouTube, Gilligan Island sunflower tree, and they were just sitting back insulting each other with their thoughts.
Their thoughts. Exactly. So I gotta
Yeah.
wonder what kind of filter is in place to keep keep you from saying things you really don't want to say. It's like
Yeah. Yeah. Now I know this one lady, she was on my show a long time ago, and she claimed to be a psychic, which I give it like a half and half. So I said,
okay.
well, what is it like? And she says it's like a radio station that you can hear, and you can focus in on a certain frequency of that station, and then I guess she said she learned how to turn it off because you would be hearing that just in that movie, God Almighty, with what was his name, the comedian, God Almighty,
Oh,
uh
let's see. You had Bruce Almighty with
yes, Bruce Almighty.
Morgan Freeman
Or
and
yeah, yeah.
gosh, who is the who's the other character, the main character? But yeah, I know what
Well,
you're saying.
leave it in the comments, and we'll have it there. um But yeah, and he said, and then he was hearing all the prayers coming in from everywhere. And then he says, how can I consolidate? And then he put it in the computer, and then he just clicked yes. Every night is prayer, right? And it's like, man, it's like then that caused a bunch of havoc, because if you don't go through each one of those prayer, what are you saying yes to?
Right?
Yeah. Oh man. But okay, and let's take it another step further. Okay. So if we are to believe that Jesus was real, or Jesus, or Yahweh,
Yeshua, all these different names.
was here living, there has been talk about mm, changing, reaching a certain vibration
Mhm.
where you can change molecular things, where solid things that you believe to be solid, like spoons, and as you were saying, like must say, lifting things up with your mind, that is possible, but you have to get to your mind to a certain level where you can get into that vibrational level where you can, like you said in the Bible, you'll be able to say to this mountain, move, and that mountain will move.
You know,
So,
it's interesting that you bring that up because quantum science backs up all of these spiritual things that have been written of thousands and thousands of years ago in our religious texts.
hmm, yes. So Elon Musk is trying to tap into and somebody said that we only use 23% of our brain.
Right?
That's a lot of brain left over to try to figure out, like, and man, I dream a lot, man. The day I had this, and I've been, since I had the Google thing, I was like, oh, let's see what I had this dream just before I went on the show. I was in my bathroom and the tub was filling up, but the water was all black. So I
Oh,
was
wow.
stopping in there and stuff like that. And it tells you, like, if you're in the tub or this and that. And then this is the crazy part. I dreamed that my wife and we were sitting in the kitchen playing with a bunch of kids. I mean, like toddlers, like kids.
Oh, wow.
And this person I knew came over to ask if she could, if we would hire her to babysit the kids, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then my wife says, no, we have it. We could take care of this ourselves.
Right.
So she left to go out the elevator, and I went up to her and said, "Hey, I apologize. Maybe we can hire you to do something else, but we're going to take care of this part." And it was just weird that I saw this person that, like, a long time ago, she used to well, she would ask me the same thing. She wanted the baby kid sit the kids, and she couldn't have any kids, and she was married and had a husband, and she just had dogs, right? And
Yeah.
I guess there are some women in this world that can't have any kids.
Sure.
And so she would always let, her husband would say, well, instead of doing nothing, because he worked and all she had to do was sit at home, play with the dogs, whatever. So she would ask to take care of my kids for a couple of hours. And I said, oh, okay. It was a good lady. And
Right.
it was just interesting that that in the stream, and she probably still, the last time I checked, it was a long time ago, I checked, and she had moved with her mother, because I guess her and her husband got a divorce. She had moved with the mother, and they were down in another state.
Hmm.
And still no children, no nothing. And so I guess, how many women in the world will never have any kids? And not because they don't want to have any kids, it's only because, for whatever reason. And there's some women, I know, ladies, we didn't plan on talking about this, but I just started thinking about this. And there's other women, 62 million of them, that have, killed their kids, right?
Yeah.
Well, 65 million up to now.
Yeah.
And so, and that's why I think these Democrats are trying to get all these people in, because they have to replace the 65 million kids that we got rid of. Because if we don't have a younger workforce, who's going to pay the Social Security for the ones that are getting older now?
That's
And
why
I'm
we're
just,
looking at. Go ahead.
that's what I'm just thinking outside the box and trying to figure out, there must be everybody say, oh, it's just craziness that they're letting all these people in. But the Chinese, they killed all these girls. They said, well, if you have a girl baby, they're not important. Kill the girls. Now you got a country full of men and no women.
Right.
So it's like, they didn't think about, maybe we should slow down killing all these babies, because we're going to have some guys that the natural part of them, we're going to say, they want to, appropriate. But if
Yeah.
you have all these men, how is our race going to go on?
Now, here's an interesting question.
Right.
This was brought up on that podcast I was listening to earlier as well.
Hmm.
With the advent of artificial intelligence and with the advent of these apps that you can download, you can now custom your AI significant other. So if you're a guy, you can customize yourself an AI girlfriend And, for guys, oh, sure, we're driven by our baser natures, and sure, we've got to, take care of those baser needs at times.
Mhm.
But, at the heart of everything, men and women alike, we're the same in this. We thrive on love, emotional support, and
Right.
things like this. And so I got to wonder, man, will the brain chip that Elon Musk is developing, will it be something that men will flock to? Man, I want to do all these cool things. I want these different realities. I want to be able to jack myself into a video game and play it faster and better. And,
Mm.
whereas women, oh, sure, they might like the AI stuff, but, their big thing is having those babies.
Mm.
Whereas men, oh, sure, they might want to, maybe have a child or whatever, but they'll get around to it when they get around to it. Whereas
Right.
women are still
There's a
hardwired.
clock.
Yeah,
There's a
they got
clock.
the clock ticking,
Unless you're rich and you can afford to have your eggs preserved,
frozen or whatever, right? Right.
right?
So, I gotta wonder. I mean, leave this down in the comments when you're watching this. What do you guys think? I mean, are we headed towards a situation where we're all going to get plugged in like the Matrix, and there's just going to be a few of us folks running around outside of the simulation, so to speak? And, you know, uh, will women and men stop dating? Will they uh, start
Well,
in favor of
almost,
these?
almost, because I've talked to some people with their phones,
Yeah,
and these people are like in their 20s and 30s,
yeah,
and
right.
when I'm talking to them, they're looking at their phone. I say,
Yep.
"Are we having a conversation, or are we having a partial conversation where you're on your phone and I'm talking, and you're listening?" It's like,
But I got to
gee,
say, as a 50-year-old man, or well, 53-year-old man now, I find myself doing the same thing. Well, I'll sit there and I'll be on my phone, and I'll certainly be giving my attention to the person that I'm sitting in front of. But they don't understand that I can divide my attention between my phone and whatever they're trying to say.
mm,
You know, but with those that don't have the ability to parcel out different things, as a blind person, we can listen to two or three different things at one time
oh yeah, yeah,
and, tell what's going on. But if you're
yeah.
sighted, sometimes maybe you might not have that same level of ability to filter out certain things. So, yeah, I don't know, it gets kind of rough.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, yeah. So today, I mean, that was our two AI songs, and I'm probably going to edit this stuff out. So the beginning, you don't hear Alan Starling, but we will say that we have one grant for this year. It's for our concert in June the 1st.
Mhm.
It was to the city and county of Denver. Then we got our Google. Every month we get a Google grant, which I got to go in there and I got to start uh, fixing it to direct it to go to certain parts of our pages.
Right.
So we get like $10,000 a month, which some people that's not even enough
Oh,
advertising,
no.
you know. But so I'm going to try to use as much as of that as possible. And so we just have those two grants at the start of the year. And when I was reading that Green Book, it was saying that something good financially is going to happen, and then some of it was saying that, do you feel like you're drowning in financial woes or whatever? But I tend to believe that the more positive that I worked on. It said something about working on something and not expecting what you're going to get, something really really big and nice. And my wife she's already eyeing some houses over in Europe that are really
That's
nice.
awesome.
So yeah, so God gave me this dream in 2018 that I would become a millionaire. Now he didn't say how you're going to do this,
Right.
and I could say, oh, that's just a dream, But he gave me this other one where I was going to meet this guy named Wayne, and he was going to get me a job, but I didn't know I thought it was my friend Wayne, but it ended up being this guy Wayne that I never knew him, but
Hmm.
he was blind and it was at a concert, outdoor concert. My wife said, "Hey, there's another blind couple. Well, there's another blind guy who with his wife over there." And
Hmm.
I said, well, "Let's introduce ourselves." And when he said he was Wayne, I said,
You're
"Wow."
like,
And
whoa,
then he told me where he worked. I said, "Hey, are there any openings?" You know, and
right?
and it went on from there.
That's
So
awesome.
so I said, okay, that 2018, and maybe I wasn't ready for that, because you gotta get in a certain mindset and just say, hey, I receive it kind of mode, and maybe it's taken this long to get into that mode. So who knows what great things are gonna be happening. So hey, so anyways, but anyway, I'm back in good standing with YouTube in a way, because they said you have been right with saying that your programming has nothing offensive in it. So we're just gonna green light you all the way through. And then so maybe they'll cut our time in jail short, and we'll be back live before the 13th of February.
Well, we'll just have to see what the benevolent overlords at YouTube say about it.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we'll see what they what they say.
Well,
Ah,
we're just a couple of blind folks, and we just want to help grassroots musicians get their dreams realized, get their music out there, get some exposure. If you want to become a broadcaster or podcaster, hit us up at info@intervisionfm.com, and you will be added to our newsletter and any upcoming shows that we have dealing with master classes and things like this. Why, you'll be right there in the on the ground floor first in
all
line.
right. Oh yeah, definitely. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. And hopefully everything will be working where we'll be able to go live tomorrow. But I'll send this off, and I don't know if I schedule for the night, midnight tonight, or
All
or schedule like for tomorrow. But you'll see it
right.
eventually. All right. God bless
God
everybody.
bless.
All right.